bam, 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 started shooting at me. I just banged him, got into a fight for the gun. IPP with a 7-year minimum term. I was on the run for that, yeah, and I've gone on holiday. Oh my God.
Gary,
Yes,
how are you?
I'm good, you know.
That's good. Thank you for coming down to the stool today to share your story. So let's just jump straight into it. Tell me a little bit about your childhood, how you grew up, where you grew up.
I'm from Wolverhampton originally, so I was born there in Wolverhampton, and I was in Wolverhampton like until I was about 7 or 8. When I was young, I lived with my mum and my dad, but my dad was a drug addict and my mum was alcoholic. So as you can imagine, my household was chaotic. Lots of madness going on in my household. By the time I was about 2 or 3, my dad's left my mum. So my mum's just a typical single mum, but she's an alcoholic with loads of problems. She's involved in all sorts, drugs, prostitution, like all kinds of madness is going on in my house. By the time I'm 7 and 8, my mum's moved. She's rushed me like out of the house one day to go and live in London. So ended up going to live in London with no family, no friends there. So as you can imagine, that sets its own thing off. So my mum was always like moving away from every problem she had. So I moved to London by the time I was 8. And in London, we moved around 1, 2, about 5 different times in the space of 5 years. By the time I was 14, I came back to Wolverhampton to live with my dad because I couldn't cope with my mum anymore because there's too much madness going on inside my household. So I thought I'd go and live with my dad. But as I told you, my dad was a drug addict, so I was going out of one fire basically into another fire. But the fire with my dad was a different one. It was like an emotional whirlwind, get me, because I love my dad. And I felt sorry for my dad, but my dad was a drug addict. And my dad would manipulate me all the time. And obviously, because I was young and dysfunctional, I was already involved in criminality from a very young age. So by the time I come back to live with my dad, I'm already committing crime and stuff like that. But then my dad would manipulate me for the money that I would get. Or then if I'd start to sell drugs, he would manipulate me through that. He would manipulate me through lots of different things. So by the time I'm nearly just 16, like I've moved out of there, but before then I've gone to prison. By the time I'm 15, I've gone to prison for the first time. You know, I got involved in some party and some fight and ended up stabbing people. Me and my cousins all got locked up together for the first time, but I didn't get convicted for that charge. But they did. Other people got convicted for things they didn't even do under this joint enterprise law. So that obviously set off the motions. Went to prison that first time at 15, kept going to prison from 15 to 19. And by the time I was 19, I got a 6-year sentence.
What was that for?
For Section 18, wounding with intent. So I went to a nightclub one day, stayed with my friends and that, and you know, by this stage, I'm carrying weapons all the time. It's just like, it was just normal to carry a weapon. And I was in the club and I was having a good time, you know, I was just in there. I remember it, man, I was having such a good time. But this guy just kept like staring at me. It got me like feeling all intimidated and that because he was a bit bigger than me. He was about 6'4", and them times I was a bit small and slim. But he kept staring at me, and that was getting me angry. But I'm thinking, I really can't fight this guy because he was too big at the time. So, but then he kept staring at me, and I kind of just get embarrassed, you know, like I thought, rah, can my friend see this? So I started thinking, nah, I'm looking at their eyes, I'm looking at his eyes, and I'm thinking, brah, let me try and get out of this situation by going over there. But when I went over there, this guy's come across and he bounced into me and walked past me as he done that. Kind of like felt vulnerable and that, felt all shook and felt like, nah. But then I remembered, always got my knife, so I ended up pulling out my knife and stabbing him and that, and got myself locked up for that. But I always feel sorry for doing that because he was just a normal, everyday guy. He was just out in the club, just like other things that I may have done, I'm not justifying it, but that was more of a road type of lifestyle, tick for tact type of behavior. But that wasn't that. You know what I'm saying? That was me, scared realistically. You get me? Didn't really want to confront this person. You get what I'm trying to say? And because I had my weapon, I just kind of used that. You know what I'm trying to say? Because I was like, when I was young, it was easy to use violence as prime to violence because I was exposed to it also easily from a young age, but I didn't really know that that's what made me like that. I just was like that. Not like I was acting violent and going on bad, but what it was is I could carry out the violence if I chose to do that. And I think it all to do with how I grew up, to be fair. I was exposed to a lot.
So you went to prison for that. How long did you get for that?
So I got 6 years for that. And 6 years at that time when I was 19 was a high sentence. And like, when you get over 6 years, you have to go for parole. I didn't even know that them times, I didn't even know them kind of difference there. So for the first like year, and I was ramping, doing anything I want to do. But then obviously the reality kicks in that you're not going to kind of get out and stuff. And obviously one time I went on the phone kind of stuff, you get me, and I was speaking to my baby mum and asking if she's all right and that, and that's how she is, and said, nah, she's not all good, the son needs this and he needs that, and I said, ain't got no money kind of stuff. And she said, oh, you promised us, Gary, you said it wouldn't be like this and all that. And at that point I just felt like a proper waste, man. You know, like, I used to pride myself when I was young, on being better than my dad. You know, like, and even being better than my mum. Even though my mum did a lot for me, she still did a lot to me. My dad just didn't do nothing for me. And I always thought I was going to be better than them, you know, like I really thought I was going to be better than them. And then basically, that day I realised that effectively I was worse than them, because my dad's a drug addict even to this day. My mum died an alcoholic. That ain't like no good reasons for nothing, but it is the reasons my parents failed me. When I was young, I felt like they didn't love me, but now I've grew up and understand what addiction does to people. They couldn't. You know what I'm trying to say, yeah? And it wasn't because I didn't want to. But I wasn't even a drug addict or no alcoholic or no. I just want to be a bad man. I just want to show off for my friends. I just want to, you get me? And that when it hit me, and I thought I'd changed, to be fair. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought I was changed, stopped contacting everybody, and that I got released on parole. But before I got released on parole, I started hearing all these madnesses on the street. Like, people started getting guns and started robbing people, shooting people, and people who weren't even like bad like that. Suddenly they're doing badness, and like everybody's talking all kind of stuff, and I got paranoid, I'll be fair. I got paranoid thinking, rah, man ain't doing that to me when I get out. Are you mad? So my mindset flipped before I got out, but what had happened is, when you're in prison, you're bored, innit? You ain't got nothing to do. You're kind of like bored, man. So you just look in your mirror and you act out stuff, you get me? Like, when that was me. I don't know about other people, but me personally, I'm talking about people, me personally, yeah. I'd be in the mirror like, what? And I'd act out scenarios and I'd think with people, and you did this and I'd do this and I'd do that. So my mind, had kind of warped itself. Looking back, I didn't know at the time, but I'd kind of warped myself, being paranoid, thinking, man ain't doing this to me, what they're doing to these out here. So I'd kind of come out with a kind of warped mind, kind of ready and prepared for something that wasn't even really that bad at that time, but I thought it was. And mentally, I'd prepared for it. So as soon as things was happening, like my cousin was getting involved in these isms and schisms and stuff, I wasn't really, because I'm a kind of polite person, to be fair. I've always been like that. Anyone who knows me will know. I've always been polite. I ain't really been a person to act bad per se. But I don't like you when you act bad, you get me? It's like, I don't know, something about me wants to challenge you, innit? I don't know. I don't do it now, but that used to be then, like a vigilante kind of attitude. So my energy will match your energy, basically. Yeah. And I've always been like that. And that's because when I was young, my mum used to beat me. To come to a stage when I was about 10, 11, I could have easily beaten up my mum. I could have bashed her up if I wanted to, but I wouldn't, because she's my mum. And I love her and I didn't want to do that, but I felt vulnerable in my own household. But when I went on the street, there's no way I can feel vulnerable, because I've got everything at my disposal to use. And remember, you ain't my mum at the end of the day. So you don't have this thing over me, what she did. You know what I'm trying to say? And I think that kind of made me a bit dangerous, to be fair.
So you came out on parole.
Yeah.
And you changed up, but obviously you said, you was paranoid, etc.
Yeah.
So then what led
So
to
what triggered now then, so what happened now is lots of things are going on. Everyone's doing all these firearms, because it was kind of new, that stage. It was around about 2001 I'd came out. So this is when it's kind of kicking off. All of us that used to be friends at school and youth clubs and all that have started battling each other now. And because these guns came new, everyone's just doing all kinds of madness. So something happened with my cousin. Some guys backed a gun on my cousin. And so I obviously told them when I see them, I kind of phoned them to kind of like see what's going on. But the conversation kind of went west. And it was kind of like on site kind of thing. But I seen him probably, I don't know, about 6 weeks later possibly. I just came out the barbers. When I came out the barbers, I come out there and I got in my car and I was in town like Wolverhampton, said like daytime and stuff. And then I parked up my car. When I parked up my car, looked across the road and I seen him. This boy again, I seen him. Like, he's got his hood pulled on and he's like, he looks manic, you get what I'm trying to say? And so I'm just staring back at him and suddenly he backs out his gun and got it pointing at me, you get me? But at that time, I just banged him So as I banged him now, yeah, we've got into a fight for the gun. And as we got in the fight for the gun now, we swinging it, he's hit me in the head with it. But as he hit me in the head with it, it's gone off before he shot me. But I've still like, can see the guns there on the floor. So we're trying to grab it. He's grabbed it. I've grabbed the gun and I ran off with it. But at the time I had a bag and I dropped my phone and my car keys. But I ran to my car thinking I could get in my car, but I realized I can't get in the car because I got no car keys. So I ran back down there. He's got off with the car keys and with my phone and that. So I've ran off now, yeah. And put the gun down. When I come back, I phone him, my cousin, because I've seen some people come past and they're seeing what's going on because I'm in the city centre.
Yeah.
So they're phoning like my cousins and people are phoning it and they're coming to town. So as they've come now, someone's come and they kind of gave me a knife. As they gave me the knife, these men have come back, but they come back on a motorbike, one did, and the others are at the bottom of the road. He's come back, he's took off his rucksack, given him some guns, and they come back again, bam, 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 started shooting at me. So at this time, I'm flipping, just don't know what I'm doing really, to be fair, because you don't know what you're doing and them kind of things. It looks like I'm on a mad thing, but realistically, I'm in survival mode, and he's shooting at me. It looks like I'm just like dodging the bullets kind of shit, but really not. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I was vexed to get me, because basically, he's shooting at me. He's already done bust my head open, and he's got my car keys. This is like embarrassing right now. That's all I'm probably thinking at the time. And I'm thinking, who the fuck is this guy shooting at me like this? So I've ended up running at him with my knife and ended up kicking him down the road. The other one had another gun. He got kicked off, so I ended up cutting him and grabbing it, running off. But all of this is on CCTV because it's in the middle of the city centre, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And as you can imagine from there, it's all peak. Everybody's got locked up.
So when you got arrested, it was in the same day?
Nah, I got arrested because basically I went to a different, because obviously my head was bust clean open, like all this here was bust right through to my bone. So I obviously went to another hospital because I'm not going to go to my hospital in my city. So I went to the hospital in another city and I used a different name. So I went to the hospital, yeah, and then obviously I was on the run for a while then. I was going on holiday and that, you kept booking different flights. So I had like 3-4 flights booked on the same day. I was going here, I swear to God, I said it was bad, yeah. Even then, I went on holiday, yeah, right? I was on the run for that, yeah, and I've gone on holiday. Oh my God. We had the most craziest, like, episode ever, I'd say. Like, it was mad. It was like a war that I've never been in. Like, we got into this beef with these, I don't know if it was a North Star man, I don't know, it was some kind of North London man anyway. I've gone there with my friends who are like from Stoke and that, and some of them, yeah, and they're like causing trouble, like there's someone, I don't know, man, throwing drinks at people, kind of doing stupid stuff. So they kind of was aggravating things. And we got into this argument with about 3 youths from London, yeah, and then they're saying, oh, I don't watch nothing, man, we're here with 20 man strong. They was just chatting shit. So I was like, shut up, man. I kind of like didn't go off. I said, we're on holiday. I kind of wasn't being on I was being more dismissive rather than being on a badminton team. But they saying, just watch anyway. But I wasn't thinking much of it because it was more like partying. But later on in the evening, we came down and it was like a club that's on the outside of a bar. Wow, there really was about 20 of them or even more, you get what I'm saying? And them days, it was them tunes like, you know, you want a war, pow, yo, pow, yo, oh my God. So all them tunes are kicking on now, you get me? Yeah. So all that's going on now, yeah. And my brethren here from Stoke here, some of them are white, but they're not ramping you, they're busting you up, you get what I'm trying to say? There's some particular friend now, what I was earlier, this boy was in his face and going, you know, you want a war, you know, like doing all that, yeah. So I just went, boom, like this. But when you pushed him so hard that the guy's glasses came off and dropped like there, yeah, and the boys dropped onto the floor. But my brother just went, bam, stamped on the glasses just like that. So as he done that, it was within seconds. Blood, his head already got busted. Whoever they just boom, busted straight off his. Boom, then it was just pandemonium in here, man. Bottles busting, everything's going, the chairs are going, the thing, girls, everyone's getting licked in the head because we're in the outside bar, so no one not knowing where they're throwing everything's going everywhere. So we had to retreat from there. We went back to our rooms. When we got back to our rooms, obviously we've got different kind of injuries. So I've got a bust head through my eye here. My other friend got hit in his face under here, but he can't see through this eye. So he's saying, yo, I need to go to the proper hospital. But the hospital's right next to where the thing happened at the proper hospital. It was like you know, the thing on the strip, because it was in Malia, this was. Yeah. You even Google it in the newspaper, it's raw in there. Google it, 2006, Malia Mali, you will see that come up. You get what I'm trying to say, yeah? So then, this is what happened now. So we've got different injuries, but they're not that bad at that moment. But my brother just can't see through his eyes, so we've gone back down to the medical centre. We've gone to the medical centre. We was in there, and they was calling for the main ambulance to come. So the main ambulance has come. When the main ambulance has come, my two friends was going out to the main ambulance. We've come back now. But you could see like bare people walking past, but we couldn't really clock what happened. And suddenly, it was like out of nowhere, there was bare of them. They just started attacking my friends, doing this. I came running out. There was like this cardboard box with all bottles and that in there. So I come running out. I was throwing it at bare people. And then it was like an ambulance and it was just going mad. But then suddenly, I heard my friends saying, Gary, come back inside. They got knives, they got knives, they got knives. Then suddenly I'm just there on myself, like just on my own. Everybody's throwing everything at me. Chairs are here, but I got a chair holding myself back, going back into the medical centre. They're coming at me like this. So I ran into the medical centre, but then they came and I got the fire extinguisher and I was spraying the fire extinguisher. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, because before that, they broke the fucking windows. You get what I'm saying? They broke the windows to the glass, to the actual, because it's floor to glass windows. They broke them. There was nothing out there. I don't know where they come from. They just ran down the strip saying man was attacking London, man, or something. You get me? I don't know what they did, but they just multiplied by millions. And they smashed it. I was spraying the fucking water extinguisher, yeah. But then one of them, he must have been a leader of them. He was going through saying, no. Listen, man, my brethren's gonna die. Because basically, for all that, man, are getting stabbed up and everything. Like, there's more going on in this, yeah, without me saying too much, yeah. So yeah, man, so they came to, basically that leader kind of came through and he was saying that his brethren needs medical assistance. But remember, we're in there trying to get medical assistance right now. But by now, yeah, they've stabbed up, my brethren's been stabbed up, like one of them's in there, juke up his arm, in his head, you get me? He's got jukes everywhere and he's lying down on the medical bed in the one room where there is. And they have to bring the other guy who's in the medical bed. And he's like, yo, if you do anything, I swear I'm going to kill you. If you do anything, I swear I'm going to kill him, man. But really, they just both want medical care, you know what I'm saying, yeah? But then, yeah, this is what it gave it worse, man, because now the police have come now. And over there, the police have got big machine guns, big guns, and they're saying to us, listen, if anybody dies in there, you're all getting arrested, yeah? And there's this £2,000 euros, whatever it is, they were saying. But I was with two friends here that are from Jamaica here, they're like yardies, but not that kind. They're just like very, they don't get into the distributable business here. I'm telling you, they're frightened for life. They're like, no, Gary's like, Gary, I can't get locked up over here. No. So where it was like some stairs here up to the first floor. So as the police was occupying all of the like, because there's enough people out there, bare people are gonna know this is true because they're gonna know they was there. Yeah, like literally there was bare police out there. So at that point now, we've gone up the stairs and jumped off the balcony off that building out the back. But out the back here was some flipping stairs, man. As I jumped down there, I busted my foot, so I broke. Like it's like the inside of my foot must have popped and broke out here. So, but obviously I'm in running pure panic and feeling, so I ran off with that same busted foot. When I got back to the room, that was it. I was finished. From here to here, my whole of my foot was black to the blue. I couldn't even put no foot on it, no nothing. But all my friends have been stabbed up. Everybody's been stabbed in different places, you get me? And they're like, yo, we need to get out of the country. One of my friends has ripped up a towel. He's got a towel wrapped around his arm, putting clothes on, and they flew to Athens, you get me, to get back to England. They stood on the first plane they could get to get out of there. And then they went back to England, but everybody left me. But remember, I'm on the run. So I can't just catch a plane. I had to book 3 flights back again on this day, different flights. So I was booking the 2 flights, and then I would book a flight within the 2-hour window and just go on that one. That would only have to put my first initial. So just G. Williams, and I'll just go through on that one. Yeah. And then I'll come back. But then when I come back, I just was in active stuff as well. To be fair, I was too active then. I was lost because I knew I was going to prison. So I come back and I'm acting up. It didn't take long for me to get arrested for that. And then when I got locked up for that, that was it. It was curtains. I got IPP with a 7-year minimum tariff. So I got 14 years and do minimum of 7. Ended up doing like a 9 years out of that.
How old were you at the time?
When I was at that time, I was 23 when I came out. So I was 28. But so 23 I came out. And by 25, all these things are taking place in that 2-year window. By 25, I'm going back to prison.
So when you heard IPP at 25, because that was a big thing back then, innit?
We didn't know what it was.
Yeah, so you didn't know what it was at the time?
Nah, so what it was, my cousin was already doing life, before me, like on the second strike life, and I'll be honest, I already knew that if I got convicted again for like a violent offence, I'm already getting second strike life anyway. I already knew that. So he kept saying to me, IPP is worse than life. I used to say to him, what kind of stupid is he chatting? How could IPP be worse than a life sentence? It doesn't make any sense. He said, I don't know, but it's going to be. But anyway, when it came out, no one didn't really know what it was. So it was only supposed to be for 1,000 of Britain's worst criminals, But in the first 6 months, they gave 4,000 people the sentence. But then what they was is classed as the exact same as a lifer, meaning we couldn't get out of prison until the parole board said it's safe to let us out. But to let us out, we had to do courses. But some courses, you couldn't do them until you went to a prison that delivered it. You could be in this prison your parole could have been in, like, because I got a long tariff, so mine was 7 years, so mine's different to other people, but the majority got like 1 year, 18 months, 10 months, 2 years. So they were stayed in the prison they was in, say they was on remand, they've just done like 9 months, so they got 2 years, so got like 14 months left. They stayed in the prison, gone for parole, then the parole will say, no, you can't get out because you've got to do this course. Now, this course you got to do is in a different prison, so don't even do it in the prison you're in here. And there's an 18-month waiting list to go to that prison, and then there's an 18-month waiting list to do the course, and then the course takes 9 months, and then we want a 9-month assessment. So they've just effectively told you, you've got 4.5 years minimum more to do, but your sentence was only 2 years. Let that make sense? So imagine what that did to people mentally in there.
Yeah.
But for me, I didn't really suffer from that because what I actually did was I was just looking at them, that fact that what they was getting knocked back on, I was learning how to try to evade that for when I went for parole, because I got knocked back all my DCATs. Didn't get no open prison, so DCAT is open prison. You get to open prison or after I got knocked back because the police kept going into my interviews and kept stitching me up, even on trying for when I got release. But what I did, most people who got knocked back parole, heads fall off.
Yeah.
Because obviously you expect them to go home. Because some of you get recommended. Everyone's saying you're going to go home, you're going to go, and then they just say no. The brain struggles to deal with that. And then what might happen is you might want to smoke a spliff or something. You get me? Smoke a spliff. Oh man, you failed the drug test. Then what they won't do, they won't tell you nothing that is that bad until it comes to your next parole and tell you because you failed that drug test all that time ago. Look what that does to people, man. It was mentally mashing them up. Yeah, man. But luckily for me, that didn't happen to me because I think it's because I had a long sentence. And yeah, and plus, I got stitched up on my actual sentence. That man was trying to shoot me. If you think about it, yeah, the whole thing realistically on that day is the man really trying to kill me. Always appealing. I've even appealed all the way till now. I appealed up until 2021. I went back to Court of Appeal for criminal miscarriage of justice because the man are trying to shoot me.
Yeah.
Like, what the... I just defended myself on that day, yeah, and they just ignored the fact of that. Like on the actual case, they're driving past a motorbike, watching to make sure I'm there. You've given next man things, and they come and start shooting at me. That's attempted murder, but that just all got disappeared because on the trial, I'm not saying nothing in it. Like I'm not saying who, I'm not saying what, I'm not. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not even saying I'm there in the thingy, like in the second part, saying that's not me. Like I'm not giving any stuff because when you caught up in road life, you stuck to the rules, innit? If you're supposedly road, you get me? So even though I couldn't say, you know what I'm saying? So I had to hold this, you know what I'm saying? Like, whoa.
So you've done 9 years straight.
So basically, I did like 7 years and a few months. I got out and then they sent me back and I ended up doing another 18 months basically. So as good as 20 months, as good as 9 years straight, yeah.
And no Cat D?
No Cat D.
All of the 9 years?
Nah.
So what category prison did you have to go to?
Just B cats and C cats.
B cats and C cats. So I have a question though. I know this is going back.
Yeah.
So I always see in like the papers and stuff, so like people that are on the run and they fly out the country, make it out the country.
Yeah.
Why do you guys come back?
Because I wasn't going on the run forever. I was gonna face my consequence. I just wanted to go on holiday first. I had the holiday booked. You know what I'm about? The holiday was booked there, and what it was, I went to Mali the year before. Because anyone know about Mali? In years 2004, 5, 6, 7, 8, it was the place. You get me? So I went there in 2005, and I had that book for 2. I'm thinking, nah, I'm going on that holiday. This is what I thought for. I'm going to jail anyway. Like no matter what. So I thought I'll go on holiday. I thought I was gonna get locked up on the way back. To be fair, I thought they were gonna catch me. But I was prepared to go to jail after my holiday. But I didn't even get to have a good holiday. I only was there for 4 days. Got broke up. You get me? I broke up. Got stabbed in my hand. Got bust in my face. Like my eye was busted open. My hand was stabbed. And I had a broken foot. I come back on crutches like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't no flipping. It wasn't no happy getaway. Let me tell you.
9 years in prison. What was prison like for an IPP prisoner?
So prison for IPP prisoner is harder because you've got all the other prisoners that aren't IPP, yeah, and you might get conflict with them. You get into argument with them because you got very hostile people in prison. You got this gang thing going on in prison. You got people with egos in prison. You got drug problems in prison. You got all kinds of reasons in prison for volatile situations to just kick off. Sometimes you end up in an argument with a man because it's got nothing to do with you. He's kind of flustered with someone else, but you've caught his eyesight right now. You're looking at each other, what? And now it comes into some argument. Now this man's got 5 friends on the wing. It just becomes a long thing for you, you know what I'm saying? And then either way as an IPP or any prisoner, when you get arrested, nicked, it's called nicked in prison for fighting, They don't look at it as no self-defense business. There ain't no self-defense. It's just you both got nicked for fighting. You're going to say what you're going to say. And then what will happen is they'll look at it and say, okay, you was fighting, but I'm going to give you lesser thing because he started it. But you was still doing this. And then when the parole board looks at it, they're saying, well, what skills did you use to evade that? Why didn't you do that? Because a lot of the things that happen in prison, really, they are kind of like, they happen because you know what happened. Like when I'm staring at you, you could choose to just look the other way if you want to. But you don't want to, you know what I'm saying? So you know by staring back at him, you know what this might lead to. So you're prepared for that. But then you ain't prepared for all the other consequences because we're used to this on the road. We're used to confronting our things there and then, and dealing with things right there and then. We're not used to dealing with the aftermath because people don't teach us this, you know what I'm trying to say? And we only learn this through consequence. And some of us take hella long to learn that. But you have to learn it, otherwise you stay trapped, you know what I'm trying to say? And you have to learn to be responsible for your behavior, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, that's me. Like, all the things that I did before, I did them. Obviously, I always knew what was wrong, but I didn't because I didn't really assess impact of what that was doing elsewhere. I was only ever thinking about me, protecting me. I only ever wanted to protect myself, to be fair. Anything I ever done, I did it to protect myself or the people that I loved. But I went about it the wrong way. I didn't know any better, and that was the truth. That's why I can forgive myself now, because the truth was, I didn't try to be a bad man or didn't. So I did them things because I thought is what I needed to do to get through. I didn't know there was other ways because I'd never seen it. All the males in my family been locked up, done prison. I never been loved by family members. I never got taught anything. So I was not blissfully, but I was unaware.
So did you think your changing started in prison or
after?
Yeah,
it started in prison. I know exactly when it started because when I was in prison, I was going for DCAT. So I went to a prison called Parkhurst in the Isle of Wight. And at the time, that prison was for like long term. It's about 30 years, all them kind of long people in there and stuff, But then there was this guy that came there and he only had 18 months in it. And like he was just wham, you get what I'm trying to say? And you're like, but fat wham, you get me? But he was just a madman, you get what I'm trying to say? So he's not just like, he's like a fat wham, you get what I'm saying, But he wasn't just a fat wham. He was like, he wake up 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, be out in the exercise yard, kicking up the place. And I mean, he's doing like shadow boxing and he's showing you that he's going to thump you up if you try anything. Plus, he had a reputation across all these London men. They knew him. They just knew he was a standoffish kind of person. Anyway, cut the story short, me and him just kept getting into conflict, but he never done anything to me specifically, but he did like kind of come in my face one time, so he's gonna bite off my nose and do all this shit, you get me? And then basically, in my whole life, I've never ever not reacted to a confrontation like that, And I did it then, and I had to ask myself questions. Why am I not doing that? But at the time, I was going for parole for my DCAT, and I want to go home to my kids, you know what I'm trying to say? So I was saying to myself, I'm not reacting because I want to go home to my kids. But then when I was going into my pad at night, I'm thinking, you're a pussy, you're a liar, you get me, you're a dick, you get me, you don't want to do it because you think you're going to get busted up, you're too big. And I was thinking, I'm just going to juke him up then. But then I think if I juked him up though, I'd end up not getting my DCAT. So I was thinking, I can't do that. And then basically, he was tormenting me, I'm not going to lie, my dreams was all messed up, my thought. I was really thinking, why am I not doing this? Why am I letting this slide? And then I put some laundry in the washing machine because like in this prison, we could put our own laundry in. Now I put the laundry in, this white boy came and he went on a mad thing, saying, you jumped in front of me, he's got no mad boy, he's only small. And I could easily have just knocked him out. And my brain was saying, what is the fuck you talking to? I knocked him out. But then I quickly heard another voice say, if you knock him out, you're definitely a pussy, because why would I even do nothing compared to what this man trying to gonna bite off my nose and everything, you get what I'm trying to say? So that means if I did anything to this boy, that already answers my own question. So I calmed myself down. I said, yo, bro, I didn't know you was in front of me, man. Sorry, man, just dressed up, man. Put yours in there. And he just went, oh, sorry, I thought you tried to jump in. And he instantly, like, so as I said that, it's like he just instantly come back down. And that taught me a lesson about how different people feel. Plus, the courses that you do in prison tells you about other people's views. Like it says, a person that you see every day could be cool, all right. And then one day you see them acting all moody at you. Instead of you thinking it's about you and you taking it personal and building this narrative in your head, think it could be something that's happened to them, something going on in their life, you know what I'm saying, And somehow it's just like come to you. And that kind of come in my head. And from there, I was able to look at myself and say, nah, the truth is I really just want to go home. And from there, I started to learn to myself that I don't have to react to things like so, because nothing's still trigger me now. I get triggered loads of times, but the trigger happens, but I know I don't need to respond to it because I know that that's just a trigger. It's not a reality. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And on all the reflections of back of all the things I did on the streets, I always mostly did that out of triggering. I was frightened. And that's why I did what I did, because I was frightened. I'm frightened you're going to do it to me. At the end of the day, I would rather always do it to you than you do it to me. That's the reality. But if I'm imagining you're going to do it to me, then I'm going to do something to you, yeah? Then I'm a madman. And this is what people are out here, madmen. You know, no, but they are doing it. Because this is what's happening, man, are going out, yeah? And it's had a mindset, yo, anyone does anything to me today, watch. So they already said this in their head. So now when they go out now, yeah, they gone out, yeah, and they might have a weapon in their car or on them, or even back wherever they got it, go to a place and they see a certain person that looks just like them, dresses like them, colour like them, whatever. So they also associate the behaviour, what they have in their mind thoughts, to that person. So that person just look in their direction, you know. And that person's face might just be set like this anyway, because that's just might be their face. You can't tell a man about his face, just his face.
Yeah.
But he's just looking your direction. But because you're already prepared to do anything and not be violated today, you look at that look as a violation. It's not. Now what you've done, you changed your posture, because this is what I do. Now you change your face. Now you make it known that you're looking right back at this person. This person might not have realized it was actually looking at you, but then they see this posture change in you. So then they do it back to you. And now we're at the standoff, innit? And then what happens is, the person's playing out in med, raw. My man thinks I'm a dickhead, yeah? So you don't want to watch this. Now he leaves and go and gets the thing. So he's already playing out what could already happen. He's imagined all these things happening. So now he's playing it out. And this is why it ends up happening, because you've done it all in your head and you're reacting to your own trauma of the idea of the thing happening without even thinking of no consequences. And this is what enough people do, because I know this because I've done it, and this is what everyone's like. Because if you thought about consequences, probably don't make no sense.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? What makes, like, don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? To go and kill someone, right, logically, doesn't make no sense. So to stab someone and he could die, what sense is this? Oh, I want to say I'm a bad man. But real talk, bad man don't get far. There's no happy bad man. There's no happy gangsters. You get me? I work with young people now and I explain this to them. I say, look, right now, when you're young, you look at people and think, yeah, man, my man's cool because he rolls with his thing. People scared of him, got the girls, got the popularity, got all this. I say, look, I'm not disputing whether that's true or not. It's subjective. But in the future, let me ask you this. If you get a big position in your business in a big company and you become the boss and you run your own big business, and lo and behold, one of these guys comes into your business or your workplace one day, 15 years later, says, yo, can I get a job? Yeah, be honest, would you give them a job? They're like, no. I say, so check this out. Why would you want to waste your lifetime of opportunities for a little phase of popularity? Is that real or is that lies? You get me? And it's the truth. Do you understand what I'm saying? But no one ain't telling you this. Then I'll say to them, what kind of friend are you if you're encouraging your friend to gas up, do these things, and you know you wouldn't, but you laugh at your friend and gas them up to do it. You like, you run your, yeah, let's go. Or you get into beef, knowing that your cousin's a bit loopy and you know that anytime you phone him, he just doesn't even listen to nothing, he just comes here and goes on a mad thing. What kind of family member are you to do that to your family, man? Why would you send them to jail? Why would you prevent them from having all these opportunities in the future? Even if you don't go to jail, if you can go through life mashing up people and not go to jail, look at the karma that comes at you. No one will do nothing for you in the future. You can't get nothing. This is why people talk about made it. They go run off and live in Dubai. How is that made it? You're not around your family. You're not around no one that loves you. You're around people that just want things from you. And anytime you can't provide those things, you're nothing. That's not made it.
So you finished your 9-year sentence, and I know you said that you started working with young children.
People,
children. Young people. What did you decide that in prison?
So when I was going for parole in 2004, I said to them I wanted to be a mentor, for young people, because I've always wanted to do that.
Yeah.
But then I got out and got caught up in this firearms life, and then I went back to prison. When I went for parole again, I told them the same thing. They said to me, they said, this is a carbon copy of what you said in 2003. Like, now you're saying in 2015, like, come on, like, what makes you any difference? I said, nothing's changed. I just messed up again, basically, but nothing's changed. That's really what I want to do. So when I came out, what happened was my cousin also, he's done 19 and a half years. He got out and he built his own mentoring company. Like, he just look at opportunities came his way and he took them. And then he gave me a job with him. And then from there, I just built, but then he basically got himself back in trouble and got himself locked back up. So he lost his opportunity, and I just can continue to move forward. And I got a job commissioned by the West Midlands Police Crime Commissioner in 2020, and I'm still commissioned by them now. So that's the last 5 years. I'm on a 6-year contract, and that's why I go to all the schools across the whole West Midlands, delivering workshops around my story. So I tell them about my childhood, my life, but obviously in a limited way.
Yeah.
I tell them about the impact, tell them about the emotional distress, I tell them about how you get groomed for crime. Teach them about joint enterprise because they really don't understand this. You know what I'm trying to say? And they really need to. I teach them about how to be a better friend, how to be a better family member, yeah. And I teach them how to take responsibility. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah? Because at the end of the day, it ain't gonna change unless they change it. And I believe in young people, and I inspire them to understand that our future belongs to their decisions in today. Just like when I was young and the decisions that I made, it contributed to this behavior of what's going on right now. This is why I'm hell bent on giving back, yeah? Because I didn't know what I was doing then. And I know enough young people don't know what they're doing now. I'm a product of my bad decisions, yeah? And they will look like me, the worst element, unless they take better decisions and better choices. And it's my responsibility to tell them that. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I've wore the wounds, I've got the t-shirt. I'm not gonna go, I've been there doing it, I know it all. It's not like I know it all, but what I definitely know is there's no pot of gold, there's no happy ending, there's no trophy, and there's no love in the streets. It's just trauma, pain, and more of it, yeah? And the thing is, we're now in a position where we can turn our trauma into art. We can use our trauma now, yeah, to help other people, because what you've got is lots of people functioning, but they're traumatized to death. You know what I'm saying? But they're functioning, so they're not asking people for help, but they need help. You know what I'm saying? So anyone who can get over trauma and adversity, yeah, you have so much to give back, because what you have is like a blueprint. You have a pathway for people to follow.
Thank you for coming to TheStooll today. Thank you for sharing your story. Let the viewers know where they can find you. And if anyone wants to work with you, let them know where they can find you.
Okay, guys, I've got a TikTok page called Brave Gary. You can find me on there. I've got Instagram, Gary_GLW. And I have a mentoring company called Better Choice, Better Life Limited. And feel free to reach out to me on any of those platforms.
That's all right.
Thank you.